Waking life is no more real than dreams. This is in sharp contrast to what most people believe. If we ask the average person what the difference is between dreams and waking life, they'll most likely say dreams are illusions and waking life is real. When you're in the middle of a dream, you fall for it hook, line, and sinker. When you wake up, you realize it was all a clever trick played on you by your mind. This version of virtual reality predates technology by millions of years. Dreams help us understand the nature of that larger dream we call waking life. In dreams, we perceive objects and events that unfold over time. Touch a table in a dream, and it'll have reassuring solidity. The same thing happens in ordinary consciousness. But why do we believe our waking state is real and dreams are illusions? In the dream, you wouldn't dare to question all the bizarre things you encounter. You talk to deceased loved ones. You don't bat an eyelash when you float above cities defying gravity. While in it, you accept all of that as normal. Only when you wake up do you realize it was a dream and an illusion. To understand how the so-called waking life is but another dream, let's first look at what science says. Quantum entanglement is when two particles influence each other over vast distances. Let's say you take out your handy-dandy particle accelerator and split a subatomic particle. Your actions alter its direction of rotation. Its counterpart's direction of rotation also changes. The change is instantaneous, regardless of the distance between the two particles. This concept is a scientific fact confirmed by exhaustive research. It points to the idea that space itself is an illusion. The same thing is true for time. At the subatomic level, all temporal concepts become meaningless. The meanings of before and after crumble. So, at the most fundamental level of reality, even science says that space and time are illusion. Let's explore the phenomenon known as lucid dreaming, where you become conscious during a dream. Once this happens, you can control dream events like a director filming a movie. All bets are off, and you can do things that you could never do in ordinary waking consciousness. For example, you can streak through the sky like Superman, or breathe underwater and take a time machine back to the Jurassic Age. This principle applies to waking reality once you grasp that it, too, is an illusion. There are beings able to transcend space and time by teleporting from one place to another. This ability is known as bilocation. It's one of the many abilities individuals who wake up from the fever dream of existence can do. Once you break free from the illusion of space and time, endless possibilities open up. You might never be able to teleport, but you'll gain knowledge that's much more valuable. This is the knowledge that you're not an isolated fragment adrift on a lonely sea. Instead, you're a part of a glorious totality encompassing everything. Philosophers have pondered the nature of space and time since the days of ancient Greece, exploring questions about the smallest unit of space and time, the nature of the present moment, and the concept of a non-dimensional spatial point. In philosophical contemplation, we reach the infinitesimal here, a point within space, which, paradoxically, is a form of nothingness that constitutes space itself. Similarly, in contemplating time, we discover the now, a fleeting moment that defies measurement, yet it is the foundation upon which all time is constructed. By awakening to this truth, there is no longer any separation between you and God. In fact, you're one and the same. But instead of making you arrogant, this knowledge makes you humble. That's because you know you're not special, but have the same divine essence in you that everybody else has. Think of how the world would transform if everyone woke up to their true nature. Wars would be a thing of the past. After all, only an insane person would blow themselves into oblivion. People would no longer see themselves as beings bound by space and time. Instead, they would embrace their infinite potential. Within the here and now lies the gateway to all eternity and all of space. Enlightened beings possess the ability to access both past and future through the now, and they can traverse all of space through the here. When we gaze upon the cosmos, We perceive a world of separate entities and events. But the ultimate truth is that there's no separation between yourself and the rest of the universe. Everything is a manifestation of the same underlying essence. That mortal enemy you can't stand with every fiber of your being? He's an aspect of yourself, manifesting to you to prove that on the deepest level of reality, there are no others. There's only you disguised in a dazzling diversity of forms. Your ego wants to live in a world where everything is separated from everything else. It needs to slice up reality into tiny bits, otherwise it will die. The solution to this problem is to dissolve your ego through meditation. By immersing yourself in this silence, your ego fades into the background. You'll see yourself as an expression of the one consciousness assuming form as a human. You realize that universal oneness expressed in endless forms is the only objective reality, the absolute truth. To quote William Blake, "You see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour." You feel as connected to faraway galaxies whirring as you do to your body. In fact, you now see the entire universe as your extended body. To most people, the star known as Icarus is so far away its light takes 9 billion years to reach Earth. But once you free yourself from the illusion, it becomes as near as the apple dangling off a backyard tree. Ultimately, the only objective reality exists within the sacred nothingness of the here and the now. This nothingness, paradoxically, gives birth to all phenomenon across all dimensions of space and time. You realize that all events are part of an epic drama that started once the universe emerged from cosmic nothingness. This drama will continue until the heat death of the universe and beyond. That's because consciousness will find other playgrounds in other dimensions. That way, it can revel in the pure joy of being. Things may appear chaotic at times, but know that everything is being orchestrated by divine intelligence. In other words, the entire universe is a school with a single curriculum. And that's transcending the illusion so you can realize your inner divinity. Once this happens, you see that there is but one life manifesting as everything and everyone, but we have to be careful with the language we use. Some say that because reality isn't how it actually appears, it's all smoke and mirrors with no substance. This can cause people to adopt a nihilistic approach to existence. They give up instead of being engaged with life because they think nothing matters. Reality is more real than what those trapped in ordinary consciousness perceive. Seeing a world of separate things is like sitting down and watching a scratched-up old black and white DVD. Everything is reduced to a fraction of its true glory. By stepping into a universe where everything is connected, you see everything in glorious Technicolor. Mystics frequently refer to the concept of the eternal now or eternity in a moment. This notion suggests that within the present moment, one can access the entirety of existence, transcending the limitations of past and future. In this state, mystics experience profound clarity and oneness with all that is. For mystics, the eternal now is not a fleeting experience but a permanent state of consciousness. By attaining this state, you can see beyond the illusion of linear time and gain insights into the interconnectedness of all life. Life has a brightness and clarity it never had when you were mired in duality. You trade in your fragmented perceptions for the knowledge that separation is an egoic delusion. Even though the way time and space is usually viewed as an illusion, it's a useful one. That's because it makes ordinary existence possible. After all, how will we work at a job or pay taxes if we don't suspend our disbelief? It's like watching a movie. Knowing what you see isn't real, but you want to lose yourself in it because it's fun. Mundane tasks aren't fun. On the other hand, temporarily believing that the illusion is real is the only way you'll get them done. But once you wake up from the dream, you can set the illusion aside whenever you want. And when you do, you're free to explore reality as it was meant to be explored. When you get really good at it, you can even be in all places simultaneously. We're not just talking about the trillions of galaxies in our universe. Your consciousness will encompass an infinite number of universes. In other words, the multiverse. Rupert Spira said, "It is perception that refracts the dimensionless here and makes it appear as space, just as it is thought that refracts the eternal now and makes it appear as time." With meditation and contemplation, you can transcend ordinary notions of time. Meditation allows you to enter altered states of consciousness where the boundaries of time blur. Many mystics describe experiencing timelessness during deep meditation, where hours may feel like minutes or vice versa. This dissolution of time offers glimpses into the eternal. Dear seeker, get to the place where you no longer reduce reality to a pale imitation of what it actually is. Peek behind the curtain of space and time and see things as they are without the ego getting in the way. Once you do this, you enter a world where limitations dissolve like mist before the morning sun. You know, beyond the shadow of any doubt, that you are an immortal being with godlike potential. These are the kind of insights you'll receive once you commit to a higher consciousness journey. You'll no longer be motivated by the relentless pursuit for more. Instead, you'll want to help speed up the spiritual awakening of humanity. You are destined to move ever upwards on a never-ending cosmic adventure. So, buckle up and get ready for the ride of a lifetime.